The crimson glow of dying stars reflected off the hull of the massive human warship as it drifted through the debris field that had once been the proud Callian homeworld. Captain Marcus Stone stood on the bridge, his weathered face illuminated by the tactical displays showing the complete devastation below. What had been a thriving planet of 12 billion souls was now nothing more than molten slag and floating rock. "Confirmed elimination of all planetary defenses," reported Lieutenant Davis from her station. "No survivors detected on the surface. The orbital bombardment was ... thorough." Stone nodded grimly. The Callian Empire had made their choice when they decided to wage war against humanity. They had struck first, obliterating 3 human colonies, without warning or mercy. The survivors had been taken as slaves, forced to work in their crystal mines until they died from exhaustion or radiation poisoning. The images of human children in chains had been broadcast across every human world, igniting a fury that burned through the entire species. The bridge crew worked in professional silence, each member knowing that what they had done today would echo through the galaxy for generations. The human warship Retribution was not just a vessel of war, it was a monument to human determination and the lengths they would go to protect their own. "Sir, incoming transmission from the Callian refugee fleet," announced Communications Officer Blake. "They're requesting permission to approach and recover survivors from the outer moons." Stone's jaw tightened. The Callian Military Command had evacuated their leadership and wealthy elite to the outer system before the final assault, leaving their civilian population to face the consequences of their leaders' decisions. It was a cowardly act that disgusted him, but it also presented an opportunity. "Put them through," Stone commanded. The main screen flickered to life, revealing the desperate face of Admiral Corvix, the Callian military leader whose forces had butchered human colonies just months earlier. The alien's 4 eyes were wide, with what humans would recognize as fear, his scaled skin pale and trembling. "Human Commander," Corvix began, his voice translated through the ship's universal communicator. "We ... we surrender, unconditionally. Please allow us to recover what remains of our people from the outer settlements." Stone studied the alien commander for a long moment. The Callian Empire had been one of the most powerful forces in this sector of the galaxy, their crystal-based technology giving them advantages in energy weapons and faster-than-light travel. They had believed themselves superior to the young human race, dismissing humanity as primitive and weak. That had been their fatal mistake. "Your surrender is noted," Stone replied, his voice carrying the weight of absolute authority. "However, your request is denied. This system is now under human control. Any Callian vessels attempting to approach will be fired upon." Corvix's face contorted with anguish. "But there are children on those moons, innocents who had nothing to do with the war, just as there were innocent human children in the colonies you destroyed," Stone responded coldly. "You showed them no mercy. You will receive none in return." The transmission ended abruptly, leaving the bridge in tense silence. Stone knew that his decision would be debated in human councils for years to come, but he also knew it was necessary. The galaxy had to understand that humanity would not be pushed around, that they would respond to aggression with overwhelming force. "Captain," Davis said quietly, "long-range sensors are detecting movement from the Vorthan Federation. It appears they're mobilizing their fleet." Stone smiled grimly. The Vorthan had been allies of the Callian Empire, providing them with advanced shield technology and tactical support. Their sudden military activity suggested they were preparing to challenge human expansion into former Callian territory. "Let them come," Stone said. "Ready the fleet for departure. We'll make our intentions clear to the Vorthan as well." As the Retribution prepared to leave the ruins of the Callian home world, Stone reflected on how much humanity had changed in the past century. Once a species confined to a single planet, they had exploded across the galaxy with a ferocity that surprised even themselves. Human colonies now dotted hundreds of star systems, each one defended by increasingly powerful warships. The other species had underestimated human adaptability and their capacity for both innovation and destruction. While aliens had spent millennia perfecting their technologies, humans had taken those same technologies and improved them in ways their creators had never imagined. Human weapons were more efficient, their ships faster, their tactics more ruthless, but perhaps most importantly, humans possessed something that many alien species lacked: the willingness to sacrifice everything for their survival and the protection of their own. Where other species might negotiate or surrender when faced with extinction, humans fought with the desperation of a cornered animal and the intelligence of an apex predator. The Callian Empire had learned this lesson too late. Vorthan Federation would be next, followed by any other species foolish enough to threaten human colonies. The galaxy would learn to fear the sight of human warships, to respect the boundaries of human space, and to understand that humanity's compassion was reserved only for their own kind, as the retribution jumped to hyperspace, leaving behind the sea cooling remains of an entire civilization. Stone knew that this was only the beginning. Humanity's expansion across the galaxy would continue, and any species that stood in their way would face the same fate as the Callian Empire complete: an utter annihilation. The stars themselves seemed to burn brighter as humanity's warships carried their message of dominance to every corner of the galaxy.